Going over to the political part podcast, you have Jamaal Bowman saying that the stress of being called the N-word might cause cancer, which, yeah, is, it's as coherent as everything else they say on CNN. Now, this is brought to us thanks to CNN, which End Wokeness says, quote, Jamaal Bowman says that the stress of being called the N-word is why blacks suffer from obesity, cancer, and etc. Which, I mean, that's pretty much every rap lyric, so, Maybe he'll get, maybe End Wokeness is framing this inappropriately, and he'll get from some very articulate studies. Maybe the scientists have looked into this, maybe how it affects the eardrum and the mental health, and that domino effect. It actually does cause cancer. I mean, obviously not, but we will hear what Jamaal Bowman has to say. Again, it's credited to CNN, or some people more accurately call it Clown News Network.
You can't be calm about this. I'm a black man in America. The reason why heart disease...
I'm white, I can't comment
Listen to what I'm saying. The reason why heart disease and cancer and obesity and diabetes are bigger in the black community is because of the stress we carry from having to deal with being called the N-word directly or indirectly every day.
What? The dumbest thing I've heard in my life. I've heard, and again, we've heard theories about, medical malpractice or doctors treating people differently. Maybe there's some creed to that. That'd be easier to statistically study, at least. But just being called something nasty, which, again, rarely happens. What's that gal's name? The gal did in the park earlier this year, and it was a viral story in America for months. Is it Shiloh something or Shyla Hendricks? That's what it was. They went viral for months because it's so rare that it happens. Again, that's a good thing. I don't think you should be going around saying the N-word. But this guy's saying, oh yeah, we're stressed about it. We're stressed about something that statistically never happens. Except for, maybe in 2009, a Call of Duty lobby? Okay, that it happens, I don't want to say all the time there, but very, 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 very frequently in Call of Duty lobbies for Modern Warfare 2. But nowadays, Microsoft censors that because they're evil and they believe in censorship. But, even anecdotally, this is one of the dumbest things I've ever heard in my life. He thinks that causes cancer. Which, again, I wish there's more public political and cultural debate on, I love the Maha movement, and I think it's more important when you focus on things that have a much more legitimate correlation to cancer causing things, like the stuff they put in our food, the stuff they put in our medicine, stuff in our environment that's, physically. There are many things that cause cancer, but it's so asinine to think, oh yeah, the stress of something that. Now, stress can cause many negative things in your life. I mean, that I do agree with. Stress can cause some negative health things. I know there are some people who might gain weight, might lose hair, might get gray hair, which I don't know if that's true for me because I got my first gray hair way decades ago. But nevertheless, guys, that's one of the dumbest things I've ever heard in my life. It's almost unfathomable. And also 99% of rap lyrics have the N-word. I mean, if you really want to stop hearing the N-word in general, you just stop listening to music. I mean, even anecdotally, I'm trying to think of how many times I heard the N-word in my life, in the real world, and it wasn't a black friend. Like, maybe once? Like, it is so freaking rare. And there's, especially nowadays, culturally speaking, in the United States, there's no incentive mechanism to do it. Most people, I think appropriately, find it viscerally disgusting to say it. I mean, if you say it publicly, you're going to lose your family, your friends, your job. You'll be culturally ostracized if you're, not African American. You say it, and you say, "Oh yeah, it might cause cancer." I mean, this is actually impressive in terms of this might be the dumbest thing that's ever been said on CNN, and that's saying something. And this one, of course, pretty viral. Got 2.7 million views as well as 32,000 likes. Now, going to the comments section, one of the first comments comes to us thanks to America Pop Bear, says, quote, always a victim, getting 1.7 thousand likes. The Democrat Media Tim says, quote, why are they still giving this failed former congressman any airtime? Due to his liar and propagandist, getting 1.7 thousand likes. Our favorite contrarian comment comes to us thanks to the gas stove. I used to joke and say, gas stoves can't type. However, if there as many things on the Internet of Things communicating with servers in China, they're basically computers, or they have computers in them. Maybe it is. I'm only partially kidding. Now, the gas stove, which again is a contrarian account that is very exceptionally proficient at going viral and getting attention. I mean, it's got 649 responses, more than any other comment here. Now, again, the gas stove says, quote, black people are really oppressed by systematic racism and societal bigotry when they are called the N-word every day, especially by far-right MAGA extremist bigots ought to normalize its use. It should be illegal to use the N-word, full stop, unquote. Now, it did only get 49 likes. We got 649 responses. I suspect they were ratioed. Urias Celtics says, quote, idiot. They call themselves the N-word more than any other demographic out there. But in the corner, go in the corner and let the adults talk, dumbass. Getting 72 likes. And the Gasto says, as I said, they are exempt. It's the Constitution. Getting 3 likes. Mayday Monday says, quote, what planet are you from? Your comment is total BS. Are you writing from Russia or China? For crap for brains? They all call each other that, by the way. I haven't heard a white man call a black man in 40 years. Getting 146 likes. Which, yeah, sounds about right. D. Gibbs says the Gasto is not a serious person. Again, literally just go to the Gasto's account and it says like professional gaslighter. And their description is masturbator, which, I mean, I haven't gone fishing in years, but it can be quite difficult to get the worm on that. But an interesting skill set. Now, going back to the main comment section, Paul Zupa says, quote, is that also what led to him pulling that fire alarm? Getting 1.3 thousand likes. Yeah, that was comical. And again, an example of, people on the left never being held accountable. When he wanted to stop a vote, he just coincidentally, he pretended to trip and he pulled the fire alarm. And of course, there's no major reprimand. Now, the based electrician says, quote, the stress of being called the N-word is why blacks suffer from obesity, cancer, etc. This message was brought to you by KFC. Getting 117 likes, which, in terms of things that can cause cancer, I think our food and diet in the United States, that could be a major variable. Maybe that's something we examine more, because that actually could. Now, Barefoot Pregnant says, quote, real solutions need real conversations, not oversimplified blame. Game 30 likes. Ryan Dolly says, quote, they call each other the N-word as easy as striking a breath of air every day. What's up with that? Game 4.5 thousand likes. Which I'm usually told is part of their culture. And again, not all of them do that. Many of them are visceral. Many of them hate that. Many of them find it viscerally disgusting, and many of them think it's just demeaning to the community, makes them all look bad. I mean, you see a similar instance when it comes to using improper grammar. It's a thing where, very interestingly enough, a lot of them will say it's part of their culture. Even on professional sites like LinkedIn, there are groups on LinkedIn, for example, called Blacks in Cybersecurity, where they purposely spell black, BLKS. So they actually miss some of the letters, and they think that's a good part of their brand. Personally, I think it's disrespectful to their own community to insinuate that they can't spell properly. I don't think that helps them look good. I think it's better, but that's just me. Now, Gigi also says, what nonsense is this? So what makes whites suffer from obesity, cancer, etc.? Getting 1,000 likes. I was going to say, I can't but think it's our food and our environment and chemicals and all that kind of stuff. Let's see here. You also have Dr. Shari saying, quote, imagine if black leaders stopped perpetuating false narratives and actually address real problems in their communities, like fatherless households, drug abuse, staggering school dropout rates, and generational welfare, getting 3.8 thousand likes. My conspiracy theory is that they'll never do that because fixing a problem means they would have nothing to campaign on, you would not be dependent on the system, and you would not vote for a bigger government. One of the worst things the government ever did was incentivize single motherhood by giving government handouts to them, which, again, after that happened, tripled the single motherhood rates in the African American community. The Hispanic community went up by, I believe, 18%. Asian community went up by about 12%. All the rates went up after the government started to incentivize it. It's a perverse incentive. They made the problem worse by incentivizing it. There are many instances where the women will make more money than if their husband were to keep the job. It's totally asinine. And again, I have the feeling they do that just to make more people dependent on the government. Now, you also have Mr. Pitbull, though I don't think it's the singer, unless he has a disproportionate amount of time in his hands where he can actually tweet and stuff. Now, this alleged Mr. Pitbull says, quote, holy crap. There's some speakers on a telephone pole that say, quote, North Korea, people are forced to listen to propaganda. Then in the USA, people do it willingly, and it has logos of CNN, MSNBC, ABC, NBC. Is that CBS? Last one? They got Fox News. They're basically all the same at this point. Got 1.6 thousand likes. Scrolling down more and more. Central Texas Patriot says, quote, happy white people day. Our ancestors are the reason you have 5G instead of smoke signals. And it's a picture of a white family getting 1,000 likes. Though, I mean, I don't want to say the joke's on them, but I'm trying to think of 5G. The largest, not to get too nerdy, but one of the largest implementers of 5G in the United States would be Nokia as well as Ericsson. So I guess that they are Swedish. And they also have U.S. headquarters, of course. I mean, but also China has Huawei. So, I mean, No, I'm not saying, there are some big players making 5G, but it's not just the white folks. Scrolling down more and more. Not Melissa Vitale says, quote, then tell blacks to stop saying it, getting 420 likes. Brian Kennedy, oh, this is perfect. He says, the identity politics brainwashing works. It's got a picture of Oprah that says, you're a victim and you're a victim. Everyone's a victim, getting 583 likes. Which, again, CNN is saying that, or no, CNN is platforming him, and he's saying this because, again, there are many people that will believe him, and they'll give the party more political dollars. And again, race baiting is an incentive mechanism that, main Democrats make billions of dollars on. So that's why I'm so pessimistic in terms of, like, do I think that they'll ever stop? I hope so. I hope it does. Because, again, I think it just perpetuates problems so they make up problems so they can make more money. But let me know. Do you think, at the end of the day, do you think this will get better, get worse in the United States? Do you think this type of political baiting will still be popular and effective? Or do you think those times are coming to an end? Let me know your thoughts, because as always, be fascinated to hear what you have to say. Thank you, everyone, for taking the time to tune in today. Again, try to get to 6,000 subscribers by the end of the month. So if you click that button, I greatly appreciate it. Also, give me a thumbs up, thumbs down, or comment. It's a great way to give me some additional feedback, letting me know how I can make show better and better. Lastly, don't forget to take time to tell your family, tell your friends, tell your coworkers, heck, tell your enemies, tell anyone and everyone. Just stay safe and fight the good fight.